Never be weak. You must be strong. You have infinite strength within you. I can never forget this quote because this particular quote had a tremendous impact on me when I was studying my engineering. There's a very interesting story which I must tell you when I was studying engineering. When I joined my engineering, I used to stay with my family in a town called Chintamani, which is around just about 70 kilometers from Bangalore. And my college was in a place called Chikkaballapura, which is around 55 kilometers from Chintamani. And when I joined this college, I thought I can travel every single day to this college and come back home than going there and staying in a hostel. Right? So I used to take college transport, and almost 3 hours a day were wasted in the transport. So when I came back home every single day from college, I was looking tired, I was looking unhappy, not only because of the travel time, also because of the company I got in the travel time. My discomfort in this process was visible on my face, and my parents noticed that, and they were pretty concerned that what if my focus on studies gets affected because of this. And they made a decision that we will shift our family from the place we are staying right now to the place which is closer to my college. So we shifted from Chintamani to Chikkaballapura. And that was a big decision because it was a own house in Chintamani, and we had to move to a rented place in Chikkaballapura. My mom had her own tailoring business and tailoring classes, which had to be completely shut down because we had to shift to a different place. And my dad created his base, he had his comfort zone in that town, and he had to come out of his comfort zone to give me comfort. And we moved to this new place. Now everything was hunky-dory, the college was close by, I could come home very quick, I could spend time with parents, I could spend time with some good friends, and I could also study. Things were really good, and the next 2 semesters went really well. But when I got into the mid of engineering, I was a little distracted. I wrote my 5th semester exams, and soon after writing the exams, I had a negative vibe that I might fail this exam, and I got the results, and I failed the exam. Soon after realizing that I failed in an exam, it was a very difficult thing for me to digest because till then I never came across a failure in my academics in my life. I was devastated. I just started realizing that my parents have sacrificed so many things for me. They cared so much for me. My mom had to shut down her business. My dad had to come out of his comfort zone, come out of the city where he built his base, and we had to move from our own house to a rented place. But still, I did not concentrate on my studies, and I failed in an exam. I started feeling really bad about me. I started feeling I am a bad person. I should have been more careful. Now at this point I can't do anything. The results are out. I have failed in my exam, and I know that I haven't done well. And with that, I start hearing these thoughts from students around that the next semester is going to be even more tougher with a different subject added to you. It's going to become even more tough because you may have to take a back-to-back exams, and that will make it nasty for you. Now, all these negative thoughts around me started making me weak. I was completely shattered with that one failure because my mind had weakened its strength. Now, during this time where I thought I'm helpless, where I was feeling guilty, and whereas my mind was feeling weak, one thing came to my rescue, and that one thing is this book, The Gospel of Strength. Now, this book was suggested to me by one of my close friends, Santosh. I got this book from him initially, and I just read the couple of pages, and they motivated me a lot. Let me read one of the quotes to you. Yeah, I love this one. Strength, strength. It is that we want so much in this life. For what we call sin and sorrow have all one cause, and that is our weakness. With weakness comes ignorance, and with ignorance comes misery. This is one short amazing quote, and this book had a lot of these kind of quotes which really motivated me, and these were like the capsules of motivation every single day. Now, from that person who had a lot of negative thoughts around, who felt helpless, who felt weak, who felt guilty, I started reading this book which gave a real positive message every single day when I read this, and I started looking at tremendous change in the way I was dealing with things. When I was thinking only about the failure, only about the weakness, only about those negative aspects, I was stuck. I was feeling stuck in a dark den. But soon I started reading this book. I still remember I was walking on the terrace and reading these quotes out loud, feeling them, understanding them, believing in them, which started making that positive change in my mind. My mind started becoming even more stronger when I started reading this book. From this process, I felt really energized. And you know what? The next semester, when I got the exams, I had to take 3 exams back to back. The first day I had to take an exam in the afternoon, the second day in the morning, and third day in the afternoon, because I had failed in one subject, which I told you, that was in between 2 regular subjects. And I got more than 60 in all those 3 subjects which were back to back. And overall I got a distinction as well. Now the credit goes to this book, The Gospel of Strength, because this book gave me the positive motivation which was required at that point of time. If I did not read this book, if I proceeded in my engineering without reading this book, every other book in engineering would not be able to help me to secure that score or be that confident person and be that enthusiastic person in that juncture of my life. Now, analyzing that situation, gives me a lot of inputs towards how can we deal with things. Now, when I look back and see my state of mind when I had only the negative thoughts and negative ideas and negative people around me, my mind became weaker as a response to those negative inputs. On the contrary, when I started reading Gospel of Strength, when I started reading those quotes out loud, when I started feeling those quotes, when I strengthened myself with the logical motivational messages which I had in that book, I felt energized. My enthusiasm improved, and I could see the results there. I won the next exams. And that was a shift from being negative to move positive. By closely analyzing this, it clearly shows us that the results of the mind, or the mind behaves in the way it is fed. Now, when I fed my mind with those negative thinking, negative thoughts, and negative situations, and listening to negative people, I became weak. When I started reading these quotes and energizing myself, reading those positive messages, my mind became strong. So it is very, very important on how you feed your mind. Like the food is to your stomach, these books are to your mind. Somebody said that. And balanced diet is very, very important. Now the question to you is, what are you feeding your mind?